Today on an all-new Dr. Phil, are the parents to blame?
We don't give a punishment and stick with it.
For their out-of-control daughters?
You say one thing and do another. How even they know it?
I can't arrest her.
Really? You can't call the cops and say, my daughter just attacked my father?
Backstage.
If you cared about me, you wouldn't send me anywhere.
The drama continues.
My sister's losing it right now.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Yesterday, I sat down with Bill and Jen, who claim their 18-year-old daughter, Emma, and 16-year-old daughter, Meredith, have teamed up against them and have been terrorizing them for the past 3 years. Now, Bill and Jen say their daughters have driven with drugs in their car and physically assaulted each other, as well as their 65-year-old grandfather. Now, Bill even claims Emma called the police and falsely accused him of domestic abuse. These parents say they just can't take it anymore. Here's what happened yesterday.
My 2 teen daughters, Emma and Meredith, are out of control. They have made my life a living hell.
They brought terror to our doorstep.
Last summer, Emma stole her grandfather's pain medication and sold it for drug money. Emma was caught shoplifting over $500 in makeup.
First time Emma called the police on me was 2 years ago. I nudged her with my elbow. Now it feels like Emma has all the power. It's so toxic, and I'm pretty much powerless.
Because they can call the police?
Well, yeah, exactly.
You call the police.
My dad gets really scary and loud. Once my dad elbowed me in the face and gave me a black eye.
You accidentally elbowed Meredith in the face after trying to stop Emma from driving with drugs.
Correct.
They're in your car without permission, under the influence. You're trying to stop them from operating a 5,000-pound missile on the road under the influence. I think that's explainable.
My parents are over-dramatizing how my sister and I both behave. I'm not out of control. My mom is a manipulative dictator. My dad is angry, controlling, and vindictive.
Have you taken the car without permission?
I have before,
What
yeah.
gives you the right to do that?
Nothing.
Emma can get extremely aggressive.
Have you struck your grandfather in the face?
Yeah. He was egging me on, calling me names, just being a really disrespectful person. I hit him in the face.
Why are you not in jail if you assaulted him? They could have put you in jail.
Once a teenager realizes that you don't really have any power over them, it's a free-for-all.
Man, they grew up in a different house than I did.
Emma and Meredith are both addicted to smoking weed.
Do you have a drug problem?
But I don't consider marijuana a drug. It's medicine. You really can't get addicted to marijuana.
You love your sister, but you say you're also afraid of her.
I'm terrified of her. And last week, my sister and I had a big fight.
She bit me on the calf and ended up punching me in the face so hard that she broke her own hand.
This is your cast, right?
Yeah.
Does this seem normal? You notice there's a pattern. You've got the children running the house.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want them to live at our house anymore because of the way they've been behaving.
You're about to bail on this if something doesn't change.
Yeah.
So this isn't working at any level in any relationship.
No.
You know, we use enable so much that it kind of loses its meaning. You know, we say the enabled here, enabled there, enabled there. And, you know, really what it means is to make something possible, practical or easy for someone to do or be. And it often perpetuates a problem. And then I read this text. This just came in this morning.
Okay.
6:36 a.m. this morning. Emma is just shut down right now. Weird question, but between filming and our flight, would there be time for us to stop on Hollywood Boulevard? Because I think I'm going to offer to get her a little tattoo that she wants in exchange for participating this morning. She's only motivated by rewards.
Yes.
what my plan was. I was trying to get her to be willing to participate because as of this morning, she was completely not willing to come on the show at all. I'm an enabler.
Yeah.
I am.
Then here's a conversation between Jen and Meredith concerning acid, LSD, acid. Meredith, I'm close to having a panic attack. Mom, why? Meredith, I want to tell you something without you getting mad so you know why I'm panicking. Mom, okay. Meredith, I dropped acid. I'm nowhere close to being high because I just took it, but I'm shaking so bad right now. Mom, okay, I don't know how to help you with that. Where are you? Meredith, in the pool. Mom, okay, all I can say is that I hope it goes okay for you. Nothing I can do for you now.
Can I interject on that for a moment?
Oh, please.
Okay. Just in our own defense here.
You certainly need one.
Yeah, for sure. Contextually, what that was because I saw when that text went out and agreed with what it said, because the idea behind that was, well, now you've done it. You're going to go through the experience of it, whether it's a good or a bad one. You made the choice. You're going through it.
My hope was that she was getting out of this, that this was a negative experience, and that having done this, she was so panicked that she was shaking, and I wanted her to have to experience that without me bailing her out from that result, so that she would be less likely to do this in the future.
I would have had a little bit different response to that one. I would have had an ambulance there. I would have gotten her to an emergency room. I would have had her observed for at least the next 72 hours. I would have been concerned about brain function. I would have been concerned about hallucinations, delusions, stepping off the top of a building, stepping into traffic. My first response would be, while you're coherent, let's get out of the water. I don't know. That's just me. I just would have thought, let's eliminate drowning from the list. Let's get that off the list immediately. I don't think I'd have been, well, can't help you now, so good luck.
Well, part of it is exhaustion, because we've been dealing with these issues for so many years and been so all over them.
That one was life-threatening, acutely life-threatening. I mean, you have no idea. She gets this on the street. You have no idea if it has Drano in it. You have no idea what, you don't know what she's taking. You have no idea. She could have seized and been dead or hammered in a minute. There's a pattern here. Bill says all the destruction at home has taken its toll. But what does he say made him speed actually in front of a police car? I'm talking about going out and finding a cop and speeding in front of him in hopes of getting himself locked up behind bars. He looked for a cop and sped around in front of him, hoping he would get arrested. We'll be right back.
I was trying to get arrested so I could avoid the chaos at home, even if just for one night. It's a nightmare.
And later, guys, come on, I'm trying to help you here.
We're not closed-minded to hearing any ideas. Obviously,
Not
we don't.
closed-minded? I'm not trying to sell you something. You called me.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. It's son-in-law
David is controlling. He wants me to be submissive when I am in his home.
versus mother-in-law.
She is neurotic.
You two have decided that she has a personality disorder.
We said, you cannot come see the grandchildren.
Your mother has not been able to see the baby.
He is manipulating her.
If you're at peace having a child, your mother has not even met. The person that needs to be diagnosed is you.
That's tomorrow.
Earlier this year, I took some drastic measures just so I wouldn't have to go home to that chaos. I actually decided to drive recklessly in front of some cops to the point that I would be thrown in jail. I tried speeding up and tailgating them, but they never pulled me over. I was trying to get arrested so I could avoid the chaos at home, even if just for one night. It's a nightmare.
You say you're to the point of exhaustion. You say, I don't know what else I've got to give here. You're out driving recklessly around a cop. To just spend the night away from home and get some rest, I'd recommend Holiday Inn Express or something. Rather than going to jail. But I get your point. I get your point. It's like, my God, I just don't know that I can do this again. I don't know if I can walk through that door again. I put together a timeline based on what you guys have told me and what they have verified. And so I wanted to take a look at it. Starting in fall of 2015, Emma stole $70 from her sister. So you told her she's grounded for 2 to 3 days and no phone for 1 week. You gave her phone back the next morning, right?
That is correct.
If this just happened once, then I'd say, okay. May 2016, Emma and Meredith attempted to drive Dad's car with marijuana. Okay. So you grounded them, no specific time limit. I don't understand that. You're grounded, what, for life or for the week or what? It lasted a couple of days. They're taking the car without permission, drugs involved. June, the next month, Emma punches Dad. Grounded her with, again, no specific time and no car for 3 or 4 days. Lasted a couple of days, the car returned in 4 days. She punched her father. Like, punched him on a Thursday, driving on a Saturday. Seriously? Okay, same month. Emma stole Grandpa's medication to sell it. Grounded her with, again, no specific time limit, no car or phone. Lasted a couple of days. Car returned the next day, also gave the phone back the next day when she threatened self-harm. She steals drugs to sell to buy other drugs. And she's grounded, no car, no phone, but gets them back the next day. Tell me why.
Well, if we knew how to stick to a punishment and have them stick to it without harming themselves, we wouldn't be here. We don't know how. Clearly, we don't.
Well, you know, I've been in this profession for, 45 years, I guess. I had hair when I started. That's how long I've been doing this. And I've always had a rule. If I was in private practice for a while, and I had to deal with patients. And that is, we can do this on an outpatient basis unless you talk about suicide, attempt suicide, or you threaten self-harm. You do any of those 3 things, I'm taking you out of the game. I will Baker Act you, I'll 5150 you, I'll do whatever. You want to threaten me, I'll take you out of the game. You are just that simple. You play that card, I'll play this card.
There have been half a dozen outpatient hospitalizations and at least 3 inpatient hospitalizations. So we're not ignoring those statements, and then we finally had to make the rule where if you say, I'm going to kill myself, whether you're saying it for attention or you're saying
what is your point?
Because we are at least following through in that regard. It's not like what they're saying, I want to kill myself, and we're just saying, go ahead.
You give her back the phone the next day, give her back the car the next day. You come here, okay, she stole over $500 of makeup from a store. You made her remove social media and her phone and took the car away. Lasted for a couple weeks, car returned the next day. August, Emma twisted Jen's wrist. Okay, so you're getting in a fight. You grounded her, no time limit, no phone. Lasted a couple days, phone back the next day. I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on until we get up till now. Meredith took acid, grounded for the weekend. July 17, Emma and Meredith backed into another car, told to go straight home, but went out to the beach party anyway. Told them no car or phone for 2 or 3 days. Phone and car returned the next day when the girls threatened self-harm. August 17, Emma and Meredith's physical fight. You write to me. Do you see a pattern here?
Not that dire, but yes.
If it's not that dire, why did you write me 10 days ago and said, we're done? Hell, he's trying to get arrested.
None of that's true. That's the pattern I see.
And later...
I can't arrest her.
Now, that's just crap.
I can't.
Seriously? You can't call the cops and say, my daughter just attacked my father?
Your son was a part of my family.
My son has never been a part of your family.
Who do you think you're talking to? I am your father.
Your daughter, we know, is violent and physical.
Shut the f*** up.
And you want to get up in her face and say, what are you doing?
I hate myself so much. There are times where I just want to die. But if I killed myself, I know my family would be so hurt. So that's why I just hurt myself. So they wouldn't have to pay for a funeral.
I would describe my parenting style as fairly laid back. My husband, Bill, is more strict than I am.
I tend to take the consequences for bad behaviors to the extreme.
My parents' parenting style is controlling, abusive, and unfair. My mom's way of parenting is very emotional. My dad uses scare tactics and intimidation.
I do feel stuck in the middle between Bill and the girls.
Now, do you see a pattern here?
None of that's true. Well, not none of that, but a lot of that's not true. That's the pattern I see.
Is there a pattern here?
Yes. Not that dire, but yes. I mean, it's not a total free-for-all. We are trying.
If it's not that dire, why did you write me 10 days ago and said, we have nowhere to turn, we're out of options, we're done? Hell, he's trying to go get arrested.
Because we don't
Put me in jail.
know,
I did anything, so I don't have to go home.
we don't know how to give a punishment and stick with it, because if they walk out, we don't know how to stop them from walking out. If they say, I'm not going to do that, we don't know how to force them to do that. So we're here because we don't know how to do it, and I'm hoping that you do.
Well, I don't think I do, because you don't get it. I spent a long time building this to show you. You say one thing and do another. Hell, they know it. You know they're not going to stick with it, right?
Yeah.
Hell, even they know it.
I'm not saying it's not true.
Yes,
it's
you are.
Absolutely true.
No,
I'm
you're not. You're spending your time arguing with me about what degree of accuracy your lack of follow-through is.
Well,
that's how you want to spend your time with me?
No, I was told to correct
if something was wrong. That's what she's doing.
So.
Right. So, okay, let's go up there and tell me which ones are wrong.
Well, I don't want to go through the whole thing
No,
right
it's
now.
okay. You want to, if you think it's material,
No, I'm just telling you,
then
it's
tell
not
me.
like we've never followed through with a punishment, but we're not good at following through with them. And I'm admitting that. We're admitting that.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of why we're here.
Is there a material difference? Do you follow through? Have you been consistent in parenting values?
In parenting values, absolutely. In parenting follow through with discipline, no. Our values have never been in question. We absolutely adore our children. We love them. We want to see them succeed. We want them to have goals and work toward those. We don't want them to deal with all of their stress and anxiety by getting high. We want them to have lives outside of our home. We want them to go to school. We want them to have careers that they find fulfilling, to have relationships that are healthy. I mean, those things are never in question. Everything we do is to move toward that end. But if we were doing that effectively, we wouldn't have to come on TV to have you help us figure it out. We're not doing it effectively. I've never claimed that we were, but we have always tried.
Yeah, Mom.
Thanks.
Well, we're going to take a break. I think we can agree that the parents aren't good with follow-through. In the real world, there are severe penalties that do stick. And when you don't teach children that there are consequences, when you don't teach children that when you choose the behavior, you choose the consequences, you cripple those children. You might as well teach them to go on red and stop on green and then pitch them the keys. Because you send them out into the world thinking they're going to get the same reactions when they don't follow rules as they did when they did it at home. And that's what we got going on here. I'm going to talk about what I think needs to happen when we come back. She has had zero accountability.
I can't arrest her.
She takes your car without permission, carrying drugs, and you say, I'm not a cop. That's just crap. And later, these girls have got one tool, and that's emotional extortion. And you go, oh, well, okay, then here's your phone, here's your social media, here's the car, here's some money. I'll get you a tattoo.
Again with the mockery, everybody's laughing.
Oh,
It's
come on. Don't get self-righteous on me, my friend. Well, Jen wrote to me explaining that her teenage daughters, Emma and Meredith, are so far out of control, she and her husband, Bill, fear for their futures. There are a lot of things that have been done where consequences have not been allowed to happen. I kind of tallied that up. Stolen vehicle, imprisonment 3 to 7 years, fine up to $25,000, driving under the influence, zero tolerance for minors, blood alcohol not greater than 0. The minimum driver's license revocation for 2 years if under the age of 21, up to 6 months imprisonment, minimum fine $1,000, and 25 days of community service if the person is under 16 in the vehicle at the time. Transportation or possession of alcohol, mandatory driver's license revocation, max fine $1,000. Assault, imprisonment up to 30 days, fine $1,500 in addition to community service up to 120 hours. Battery, imprisonment up to 6 months, fine up to $2,500. Theft up to $500. Value, imprisonment up to a year, fine $2,500. Delivery or possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, fine up to $150,000. Imprisonment 2 to 5 years. Possession of cannabis, fine of $100 to $200. 18 plus. Delivering cannabis to a person under 18, at least 3 years his junior, imprisonment up to twice the maximum term. That all adds up to a maximum jail time of 7 years and maximum fines of $183,700. She has had zero accountability.
I can't arrest her. If she was arrested, we would not bail her out and have told her this.
Okay, I'm going to excuse Emma and Meredith now. It's glad to meet you guys. I'm going to talk to your parents for just a little bit about some adult issues. So I'm going to say goodbye to y'all. and we're going to let you guys step down this way, and I'm sure we'll talk to you soon, right down the way. Do you have any questions for me?
Not at this point.
Okay, how about you?
No questions right now.
Okay, I guess we're done here then.
Okay. I mean, if you want to know, like, overall, do I have questions? I would like to know how we get this back on track.
You hear chuckles throughout the audience. You hear, you know, people going, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
You know how she said earlier she was smiling about how outrageous it was?
Yeah.
That's why people are they're laughing in disbelief. They're laughing in discomfort and disbelief that you are as unplugged as you are here.
I'm admitting that we're not doing it right.
I say you're looking at $200,000 in fines, and so I can't arrest her. Really?
I can't.
Seriously? You can't call the cops and say, my daughter just attacked my father? Are you serious?
I could do that.
Are you serious? Are you telling me you can't connect those dots? You're telling me I can't arrest her? You're telling me you can't connect the dots and say, my daughter just assaulted my 65-year-old father and I can do nothing about it? I don't have a badge and cuffs. I can't arrest her. You're telling me that's your response to that? That's what you got out of that?
No, I'm just saying
She
that
takes your car without permission out of the driveway, under the influence, carrying drugs, and you say, I'm not a cop. What am I supposed to do about it? Well, you have the license number, you have the car, you have the make, you have the location, and you probably know where they're going. And you say, I'm not a cop. Now, that's just crap.
We're not closed-minded to hearing any ideas. Obviously,
Not
we don't know.
closed-minded. I'm not trying to sell you something. You called me. And later,
I can't believe you would do this to me. If you cared about me, you wouldn't send me. I care about you so much.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. He believes his mother-in-law has a personality disorder.
She cannot see the grandchildren.
if you're at peace having a child your mother has not even met, the person that needs to be diagnosed is you.
That's tomorrow.
Guys, come on, I'm trying to help you here, but you got to help me help you.
Well, we don't know where to go with it. I mean, that's the whole thing. We're not closed-minded to hearing any ideas. Obviously,
Not
we don't know
closed-minded. I'm not trying to sell you something. You called me.
Understood.
These girls have got one tool that they know works, and that's emotional extortion and intimidation. They are bullies, and you do what I want. You do what I want, or I'll hurt myself.
That's true.
They're so narcissistic, trust me.
Oh, no.
We don't disagree with
you
that.
You do what I want or I'll hurt myself. And you go, oh, well, okay, then here's your phone, here's your social media, here's the car, here's some money. I'll get you a tattoo.
So here's... Again with the mockery, everybody's laughing.
Come on, don't get self-righteous on me, my friend.
That's not what's happening. What I want to be able to do is
you're
explain
looking for the
myself.
door. You start
Negative.
talking to me like that.
That's not true. What I am trying to say... What I am trying to say is, God forbid, the one time that we don't do anything about it, and it's the one time that they go ahead and do it. That's terrifying.
That's why you put them in the hospital if you have to, 100 times if you have to. But Bill, listen, forget about Dr. Phil, forget about dad to dad.
Sure.
Just dad to dad.
Yeah.
Would you rather have them driving under the influence 100 times, or would you rather have them risking this 1 out of 100 times?
Without a doubt.
I mean, you got to play the odds here. I can't tell you they're not going to do something to hurt themselves.
Sure.
I can't tell you that. Can these girls do something histrionic and wind up killing themselves? Of course they can, and I don't take that lightly. That's why I say my rule was, they say that, I take them out. They say it again, take them out again. Say it again, take them out again. I never fail to pay attention to that. I do it every single time. But if they're driving under the influence, and they are, you ignore that, but yet you pay attention to the other? They're in a 5,000-pound car out driving down the street, cognitively altered. They're in an altered state of consciousness driving that car, and you know it.
Understood. Yeah, you're right. That is accurate. We don't know what to do. There's nothing we're not willing to do, but again, we don't know what it should be.
Well, first off, you've got to quit parenting from fear. You are not an abuser. You have come on television, national television. It's been made very clear. It says you elbowed her in the face. You're trying to stop them from operating a vehicle under the influence illegally. That was an accident. They admit it was an accident. I've seen it. I know it was an accident. I've said it was an accident. They said it was an accident. You've said it was an accident. That's now public record, national television, on film. I'll give you the DVD you can hand to the cop if he shows up. You're not that guy.
No, I'm not.
Come on.
No, I'm not.
You're not that guy.
No, I'm not.
That doesn't mean they can't come to the house and you can say, have a seat. We're going to watch a Dr. Phil show. Right. And you can punch that in and have them watch it. You're not that guy.
No.
They've punched you. They've hit you. They've attacked your father. That's part of this record, too. They can play that. If anybody gets arrested, it's going to be one of those two, not you. And if they do arrest you, you call me. I'll tell them what I know. You need to be the ones to step up as parents and deliver the plan.
I hear about you so much.
The #1 show in daytime is taping now. All we need is you.
You're going to be in the Los Angeles area and want to watch a live taping of the Dr. Phil show? Call 323-461-PHIL. That's 323-461-7445 or visit drphil.com. Tickets are free, and I hope to see you soon. What you've got here, no matter how we got here, you've got girls here that are addicted. And until that gets dealt with, there's not going to be a healthy turn in this situation. This is T.J. Howard right here. He's the Director of Operations for Origins Behavioral Health Care. Origin Hannah's house is located on South Padre Island, Texas. It offers very sophisticated, gender-separate, and age-specific treatment programs for men and women, and they specialize in the treatment of addiction trauma and psychological disorders that are comorbid with those addictions. So if you've got anxiety, if you've got depression, if you've got whatever that is coexisting with the addiction, you have to defuse that at the same time you defuse the addiction. You see, this is a layered situation, correct?
Well, absolutely, and chronic marijuana use changes your brain, and she can't make appropriate decisions right now. And you guys are going to have to really hold the line here.
I asked Nikki Higgins to join the conversation here. Nikki is the Director of Mental Health at the Center for Discovery, which is a place that I have such great confidence in. Nikki, this young lady needs a chance away from the chaos to unravel this ball of yarn and set some vectors in what she wants to do. Would you agree with that?
I agree. You said it beautifully. There is fear that is paralyzing this family. We have fear on your side where it's really preventing you from setting boundaries. It's preventing you from setting really firm expectations. But on the other hand, with Meredith, we have fear that has her in the state of acting out. And she's relying on these behaviors to make sense of it. And our program, we've been working with families such as yours and kids like Meredith for over 20 years on these exact issues.
These are the best. And I'm able to offer those to you. And I want to do this for 3 reasons. 1, these girls need it. 2, your other 2 children deserve to be center stage without chaos for a while. And to know that their sisters haven't been cast out, that they're being taken care of. And 3, you guys need 2 things. You need a break. You need a break, and then we need for you to have some help, which you will get through these folks that will come in and say, look, here's a parenting plan. While these girls are getting some much needed help. Now, the first big step is I want you to sit down with them, with these two backstage. We're going to give you a private room back here. And you need to be the ones to step up as parents and deliver the plan. Okay. I could easily do that, but it needs to come from you as parents. Reclaim your role as parent.
Okay.
And set this up. Lead this situation.
Okay.
Shoulder to shoulder. Okay?
We've made the decision to go ahead and move forward with this.
No.
Programs don't help, dude.
It's breaking my heart.
Want to know what's coming up on Dr. Phil? Visit our website and subscribe to our email newsletter. You'll get weekly updates, life strategies, and exclusive video that you won't find anywhere else.
Plus, on drphil.com, you can see sneak previews of upcoming shows. Log on today.
Emma and Meredith are currently backstage with their parents, and I'm told it's a sister storm as they're confronted with the reality of what is about to happen next. Take a look.
Dr. Phil has put together a plan to help your family. Meredith, we're going to be offering you a place to go to for the next 30 to 45 days.
I just want to sit there for a minute. I can't. I'm on my way to getting into a good college and getting my GPA up. I can't miss over a month of school. My boyfriend is going to leave me. My friends are going to leave me. Yes, they are.
I know, it's scary.
Would you mind if we just speak with you again just right behind this door for a brief moment?
Nothing's gonna happen.
None of this is okay. I feel myself on the way to something better than this.
But it doesn't last.
Who are you to say that it won't last? Who are you to say
has said that it doesn't last.
If she feels like she's doing good in her life and if she feels like she's accomplishing good things.
With all due respect, I understand that you can see that she's afraid, but you know, just like she knows, that she's got to push through the fear to get to the other side, just like you have to.
You don't know my sister. I know that you guys. Please stop talking. I'm not going to be interrupted by you because it's disrespectful and it's disgusting. I'm sitting here telling you. I'm sitting here telling you.
Sister right now.
She doesn't look like she really wants to talk to you, does it?
I actually think she does want to talk to me, but she's afraid of you.
I love
you thought absolutely wrong.
Yeah,
I think
you sound like a dumbass.
Want my mom?
Yeah.
Where is my mom?
We've made the decision to go ahead and move forward with this.
No.
This will get you and us the help we need to get.
No. You are leaving me in California by myself.
You are not by yourself.
I can't believe you would do this to me. If you cared about me, you wouldn't send me anywhere. I care about you so much.
Well,
they're sending me away for over a month. Yes, they are. I'm not allowed to refuse. They're taking me away.
We're going to I'm just saying. Yes, you can. Absolutely.
Really sweet.
Go ahead. I'll walk you.
Great.
Let's turn the air on.
Right here. Pop in for me.
I'm sure this family will collectively make the right decision. I wish them well. I would like to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to Nikki Higgins from the Center for Discovery, TJ Howards from Origins, and also special thanks to Mike Montreal from Safe Interventions. They are the best of the best when it comes to transporting teens. Now,
we believe that we had to intervene. We have Origins here. You can go and get the help that you need.
But I'm 18, so I can say no. I want you to go get help.
We really do, for your family.
We'll never be moving on from this. My answer is no.
You'll end up in jail, and they're not going to help you there. You go to this program, no one's going to help.
Programs don't help, dude.
I have to do it for you guys. It's breaking my heart.
Then act like it.
I believe she is. And we're doing what we think is right.
I mean, it's just not going to happen. You can literally throw me in jail. I would sooner do that than go to a rehab again.
Bounce, bounce, all the girlies bounce. Take 'em to my house, turn the party out. Bounce, 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 all the girlies bounce. Take 'em to my house, turn the party out.
You warned me 1,000 times, memories can kill ya, but I didn't hear ya. I thought that I could fly, but woke up on the asphalt. I swear there was the last time. I've always been naive, call it.
Ooh, you know we gon' get it. Ooh, you know we gon' get it. Ooh, you know we gon' get it. Every day and night, that's right. Ooh, you know we gon' get it. Ooh, you know we gon' get it.